Now I'm going to start bringing the bow down to closer to my final dimensions, final thickness, and I'm going to leave the width where it is right now. You can see a little line in here. That's about where I'm going to be probably when I'm done. A little thicker than that, so I'm going to try to stay at least an eighth or 3/16 above that line, and then I'll sneak up on the final thickness during tillering. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Nicholson rasp and I'm going to bring it down, like take a big chunk out of here, divot out of here, and out of there, and then I'll take and I'll clean the middle up with a draw knife. And that'll just help me not tear out anywhere I don't want to tear out. And then I'll do that to the other side, and then I'll flip it around and I'll start working on the handle shape and the tip shapes. When you're doing this, you want to keep on this side of your fades into your tips, because you don't want to lose any thickness where it starts thinning. If you bring this final thickness past this point, it's going to start being weaker because it gets thinner. So I'm going to keep up here, I'm going to keep on this side of the fades, and then I'll come back with a finer, slower rasp to shape the tips. Well, the final shaping of the tips. I'll use this big heavy rasp for the rough shaping. Alright, I'm going to leave this limb like this. Stop there for now. I blended the tip just a little bit there. Now my handle area is still really rough, and the handle probably starts right here. You know, that's where I think it's going to be, and this is here. So after I get the handle shaped, I'll have to bring this fade up to blend it in better. But right now I'll just leave it there. Just basically removing wood slowly right now. So I'll flip it over. In your building, when you're making a bow, it's nice to be able to, when you're reducing thickness, it's nice to be able to look at the grain, and you can see the pattern of the grain and where it fades away, where you go to the next layer and all that. And in most cases, like with this one, you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can do that with this. It's all even on both sides. If you look, there's a color difference here, and it's about, you know, a ½ inch there, and it's about a ½ inch there, so you can roughly look at this grain and basically see how thick you are. But if you look on just on the other side of the stave, look how thick this wood is compared to this. You know, the color difference is here too, but it's much thicker on this side than it is on this side, so you can't look at this front and the way the grain goes and see how thick you are, because if you did, you'd end up with one side this thick and the other this thick, and you'd get a lot of twist on your limb and it wouldn't work out real good. So this limb is maybe where a calipers would come in hand, or just come in handy, or, you know, I'll just take my time and just make sure that I'm concentrating on the thickness of the sides more so than what it looks like here. It's just something to keep an eye out for when using staves. It's not always the same. Have the bow thickness reduced a little bit on each limb. You can see where the tips are going to start getting out, or getting thicker at the end, in the handle area. And I got that side done too. They're fairly the same thickness, both limbs. but they're both still about an 1/8 inch too thick. But now I can start working on the tips and the handle a little bit and blending them in, and then I'll worry about reducing the final thickness later on. So that's my next step now, is to start shaping those the tips and the handle area.